What's up, fuckers, and welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K22 Next Gen. Today we are finally getting to the video that a lot of you have been DMing me on Twitter about. Today we're going to be doing the James Harden Philadelphia 76ers rebuild. By far, probably the biggest trade at the deadline, a trade deadline that was extremely active and 100% did not disappoint. I will read you guys the trade. I'm assuming 99% of you guys know what it is, but just in case, we'll read it to you. The Brooklyn Nets and Philadelphia 76ers have agreed to a blockbuster deal just hours before the trade deadline, with James Harden and Paul Millsap going to Philadelphia, Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, and 2 first-round picks heading back to Brooklyn. So, it's a huge deal, especially at the deadline. I'm super excited about today's video. I'm going to go ahead and kind of give my thoughts on James Harden here in Philadelphia once we do get into the video, but for now, I'm excited about this one today. And obviously, I will also be doing the other side of this deal. The Ben Simmons Nets rebuild will most likely be my next video, along with a couple others. I still have to do a CJ McCollum Pelicans rebuild. I still have to do the Domantas Sabonis Kings rebuild. We did the Halliburton Pacers ones. We will get to all of them again. I am a little crunch for time here at school, so we try to get them out whenever we can. Obviously, I do appreciate you guys understanding that. And finally, besides the obvious videos that are going to be coming out, all the trades that I just, set out there, and all the videos we are obviously going to do, what are some other challenges you guys want to see? Let me know down below in the comment section. Of course, you guys are new around here, feel free to subscribe to the channel, join the community. We would love to have you. Without further ado, man, James Harden is officially the newest 76er. Are they the top team in the East? Let's get into it. So, of course, the one unfortunate thing about, jumping into 2K22 on Next Gen is that we don't have a start today, which is really unfortunate. I've actually had a couple people tell me that Old Gen actually does have start today on 2K22. I don't really know why that is, but that's just kind of how 2K works. But I'm sure a lot of you guys do want to know my thoughts. That's probably why you clicked on this video of James Harden here in Philadelphia. Now, obviously, he's not the best point guard in the, or shooting guard, whatever you want to call him, in the NBA anymore. He's still an all-star. He's still very good. I do not think he's the best of the best anymore. Is he still a very good player? That 100% is a fact. James Harden's very, very good. Is Joel Embiid and James Harden going to be the next Shaq and Kobe? Probably not. But I do think they're definitely in the top 3 teams in the Eastern Conference. And again, only times will tell. Obviously, with you got 2 guys here who are a little bit injury prone in James Harden and Joel Embiid. So you never really know what happens come playoff time. But ultimately, if this duo stays healthy, I think they're at a minimum probably going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals if everything goes according to plan. They don't suffer any major injuries, any setbacks, anything like that. I think without a doubt, the biggest W that Philadelphia took in this deal is not having to give up Matisse Thybulle or Tyrese Maxey. I think that's 100% a fat W. I also think it's hilarious that Doc Rivers traded his son-in-law for son-in-law, whatever the hell he is, for like the 100th time. I think Doc Rivers has done that before. I'm just kidding. But yeah, this Philadelphia 76ers team is very good. I am excited to see them once James Harden is back after the All-Star break and fully healthy. So obviously he's not going to be playing up until the All-Star break. Again, we don't have starts today. We're back in October right now. And also another thing, I'm not going to actually make any other trades with this roster because this roster technically is finalized. So even though in the game right now we're technically before the trade deadline, just because this roster is currently not able to make any other moves, because they're after the deadline in real life, I'm not going to make any other moves before year number 1. I hope you guys kind of do understand that. But I am going to go ahead and set the rotation myself. Obviously, you guys can kind of see this squad. It's pretty obvious what the starting lineup's going to look like, in my opinion. But again, we'll go ahead and set it. I'll see you guys at that rotation. All right, so year number 1, I've set the rotation the way that I think it'll work best. It goes as follows: Tyrese Maxey, James Harden, Matisse Thybulle, Tobias Harris, and then Joel Embiid. I'm throwing Thybulle in the starting lineup right now. Thybulle, again, I'm horrible with names, like absolutely horrendous. So Matisse is in the starting 5. I love his defense. He's doing things that are just unheard of, unspoken of. But yeah, Matisse Thybulle is going to be in that starting 5 next to James Harden, who was a little lackadaisical on the defensive end of the ball at times. Then Tyrese Maxey in here as well, who has emerged as an unbelievable player here for Philadelphia. Huge W. They were able to hang on to him. Tobias Harris, I actually saw his name floating around a little bit at the deadline. Saw a potential rumor that maybe they were going to move him to Oklahoma City just as a salary dump. I'm not a huge Tobias Harris fan. I feel like that would have been a weird kind of move-ish. You're kind of throwing away the season at that point if you were to do that. But again, I'm not an NBA GM. What do I know? And then obviously Joel Embiid, the best player on this team, probably a top 2, top 3 NBA MVP candidate right now. Could be the number 1 in some people's opinions. We're not getting into that right now. Our bench unit definitely could use some work in the offseason. We have Shake Milton here. We got Danny Brickleberry Green, as I refer to him as, Paul Millsap. And then I am actually giving Charles Bassey some backup center minutes. I actually don't mind that. Obviously, this team did lose Drummond, so we kind of lost our backup center. Maybe we can develop Bassey into somebody who's serviceable, can be off the bench for us, kind of benefit us, if you will. So it's a 9-man rotation here for your number 1. We got heavy minutes on Joel Embiid and James Harden, both playing 37 apiece. Biggest thing for me, I don't play with injuries on in these rebuilds, so we don't really have to worry about that. But year number 1, we're obviously not making any trades. They're past the deadline in real life right now. It really wouldn't make much sense for me to do that. Hopefully you guys do understand that. And again, I'm hoping this team's a top 2, top 3 team here in the Eastern Conference, potentially a championship team year number 1. See you guys at the end of the first season. It was a very successful first regular season here in Philadelphia for us. We rounded out as a 1 seed here in the Eastern Conference. We're also number 1 in the power rankings, and Joel Embiid gets his first career MVP award, something that is very possible to happen this year in real life. He averages 28 points, 15 boards, almost 5 assists, 1 steal, 1.5 block. For a 7-footer shooting almost 40% from 3, this dude is absolutely insane. Cade Cunningham, your Rookie of the Year. The Rookie of the Year debate right now in the NBA is absolutely insane. I mean, it really is. There's so many different guys that could win it. I'm not even going to give an opinion right now, but definitely Cade is in the mix. Kevin Love, 6th Man of the Year, got traded technically back to Minnesota, if you will, where he had some of his best playing days. 6th Man of the Year. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Defensive Player of the Year. Tyrese Maxey, Most Improved, so we get 2 awards out of it. And Taylor Jenkins, 54 and 28. Looks like the Grizzlies were pretty good as they're 1 seed over there in the Western Conference. So we'll check out some standings right now. We went 52 and 30 on the year, so we had the 2nd best overall record in the NBA, if you will. We were 2 games up on the Hawks. We're technically not a playoff team right now. Could make a run, though. The East is so good this year, bro, and that's something that, you know, you really haven't been able to say in a long time. Obviously, when LeBron was on the Cavs, he kind of ruled the East, if you will. He did the same thing kind of in Miami for a bunch of years, but you know, the East has never been as competitive as it is right now, in my opinion. Even the Celtics have been on an unbelievable run so far. They're playing, I don't know when this video is going up, but they have a game tonight against the 76ers. Actually, no James Harden, so it's not a real test. But you know what I'm saying? Like, there's just so many teams in here that could possibly upset somebody in the playoffs. So I'm super pumped for the playoffs, but nonetheless, let's get back to the regularly scheduled program. We are going to go ahead and take a look at some stats on the year. Joel Embiid led us in scoring. Then it was James Harden, just under 24 points a game, almost 7 rebounds, 8 assists, 1.5 steals. You love to see it. Tobias Harris, Tyrese Maxey. So we had 4 16.5-plus point per game scorers. That is impressive. Shake Milton, Paul Millsap, Matisse Thybulle, Danny Green, Charles Bassey. And the list goes on. Rebounds was obviously an Embiid, and then assists did go to James Harden. So we got to sim the play-in tournament to see who we are going to be facing here in round number 1. And oh, baby. This would be the matchup of all matchups. James Harden and Ben Simmons both facing their old teams respectfully. It would be Ben Simmons, Kyrie Irving, Joe Harris, Kevin Durant, Andre Drummond. They have Seth Curry off their bench now. They got LaMarcus Aldridge. I also think it's a hugely underrated pickup that they got Seth Curry that deal as well. Obviously, no matter what, when you plug Ben Simmons into a lineup, you're going to need some shooting help. And this team does have a guy like Joe Harris. Kevin Durant can obviously shoot the basketball. Kyrie can. But, you know, you're always going to need that aid, depending on rotations and stuff like that. And picking up Seth Curry was actually huge. It was really, really big in my opinion, because he's obviously a very good shooter, him in and of himself. So, great job by both teams, honestly. But we're going to go game by game right now. I would obviously like to get the dub here in Philadelphia, as you know, we are the 76ers right now. We're 2-2 with Brooklyn right now. We are up 3-2, and we actually end up winning in 6. Actually kind of interesting that Brooklyn ended up being a play-in team. Obviously, they broke their loss streak of 11 straight last night in real life. But, you know, when you sim a full season with that lineup, you wouldn't think that's a play-in team. But nonetheless, I mentioned it. The East is very good. We got Miami here in the Eastern Conference semifinals. Lowry, Oladipo, Jimmy Butler, PJ Tucker, Bam Adebayo. They got Tyler Hero, who's looking like a potential 6th Man of the Year. Let's go game by game with them. We are 1-1 here in the semifinals. We take a 2-1 lead. We go back to 2-2. So we got a best of 3 right now. Up 3-2. The winner taking on the Hawks in the Eastern Conference Finals. Can we get it done? We can. So we got a 1-2 matchup here in the Eastern Conference Finals. You got a 7-8 matchup over there in the Western Conference Finals. And honestly, I don't really want to face either of those teams. So you got a team in the Phoenix Suns that were in the finals last year in real life. Very talented roster. Then you got my kryptonite here in 2K. The New Orleans Pelicans and Zion Williamson. But first, we got to worry here about the Hawks in the Eastern Conference Finals. Trae Young, Kevin Huerter, DeAndre Hunter, John Collins, who was also a name I thought could have been moved at the deadline. Clint Capella, they got Gallo off the bench. They got Mason Plumlee. They actually signed IT as well. Let's see if we can get it done and go back to go to the NBA Finals, if you will. We're 2-2 again. We go up 3-2. And can we close them out in 6 and head to the NBA Finals? Yes, we can. Here come the Pelicans, isn't it? Yep. Here we go. Devontae Graham, CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, Jonas Valanciunas, and Larry Nance Jr. I'm hoping they nerfed, if you will, Zion a little bit. Like, for a guy that just doesn't play, he's way too good in this game, bro. He really is. Like, I'm probably going to lose this series against him. I would just be amazed to take a look at his numbers after this series. All right, we're 3-2 right now. Again, I'm not going to hop into a game I know I'm losing, but again, if it's close and I think I can salvage it, even though I'm horrible at 2K, I will do that. So maybe, okay, it looks like we got a W here. So we're going to a Game 7 on our home floor. Ideally, you win those games. We will simcast Game 7 here on our home floor of the NBA Finals here in year number 1. We haven't even technically made a trade yet. So I really don't feel that accomplished if we do win, but obviously I'd like to win. We're going back and forth here. And it's a tightly contested one here. This would be a great NBA Finals to watch. We're up 13. I guess I'll get a little bit of gameplay for you guys. Here in Philadelphia, unless we have an unbelievably blown lead, it looks like we're going to be getting a championship here straight up in year number 1. All right, I'll try to use James Harden a little bit. Obviously, you know, I do. Oh, here comes Zion. I just, like, there's nothing. Like, obviously, I jumped there. I shouldn't have jumped. But, like, he just has this effect about him, bro. All right, James Harden. Are they going to foul? Are they playing the foul game right now? Brandon Ingram, there's no way is that foul. Oh, my God. That would have been probably one of the grossest things I've ever done. Harden got 26, 8, and 5 on the night right now. Is Embiid really... See, like, I mean... Also, Zion's maybe looking a little thin in the game compared to what he is in real life. Can we miss free throws, fat boy? Okay. Nope, we're going to hit them both, obviously, probably. Are they making changes to their lineup right now? I guess they're just putting their starters in. If anybody were to be able to blow a lead like this in, you know, a situation like this, it would be me. So I'm honestly not going to take it for granted. I'll run a quick floppy. Hopefully it's for Harden. It is. That's actually huge. And you really didn't get much separation. And, yeah. This is why I don't show gameplay. Because I'm honestly this bad. I'll show you guys this one just because why not? Pelicans are going to take a timeout. Honestly, it's taking way too long. I'll show you guys this, but I'll see you guys in the Finals MVP. I know I'm absolute dog shit at 2K. There's really no questioning that. I never, you know, put myself out there as somebody who's very good at 2K. But nonetheless, we get a championship here in the first year. Joel Embiid is your Finals MVP. Him, Harden, I mean, we're probably the only two options, but congrats. Embiid, regular season MVP and Finals MVP. How many times has that happened before in real life? I'd actually be interested to know that. League meeting time. We will reject all of these as always. Because I saw a video from like NFL throwback films the other day on YouTube, and it was like a league MVP hasn't won a championship since like Kurt Warner in 2000. So I'd be interested to see what it's like for the NBA. Draft lottery time. We definitely do not have any picks in here. That's 100% a fact. The top 5 is the Rockets, Trailblazers, Cavaliers, Magic, and Wizards. It's funny how the Cavs can be so good in real life and just so bad here in 2K. Kind of weird. Doc Rivers is obviously not going anywhere. I hate touching all the coaching stuff at this point. Way too confusing. We will now head up to the draft where we do have our first round pick. Okay, so we got number 30. We also have the 3rd overall pick in round number 2 via the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm probably going to make a trade, though, and I'm assuming a lot of you can probably figure out who I'm going to be trading. I'm not a fan of paying Tobias Harris $37, almost $38 million to be putting up the kind of numbers that he does. He's not a bad player whatsoever. I just think I can get an upgrade there for that, especially for that amount of money. I'll see you guys with a trade. So we got a pretty big trade to start our offseason. We're moving Tobias Harris, Furkan Korkmaz, our 30th overall pick this year, and our 2024 first-round pick to Toronto for Pascal Siakam, who in my opinion is a definite upgrade over Tobias Harris. Then we're also picking up Harrison Barnes here, who could probably be a really good bench piece for us, and I do foresee him as that bench piece. I want to keep Thibault in the starting lineup in order to, you know, kind of secure that defense, if you will, next to a guy like James Harden, but huge upgrade there at that power forward position, in my opinion. We also get rid of our 30th overall pick, which I really wasn't going to use. I'm not using this pick as well, so just give me 2 future seconds. Thank you, Memphis. All right, we will now head up to team player options. I do not believe we should have any Oh, James Harden's a free agent. That's a big one. I'll bring back Danny Green. I'm just going to trade him, but James Harden is 100% somebody who I want to bring back. I know in real life he actually opted into his player option. That was a, you know, a clause in the trade just so they didn't just trade a bunch of guys and then get James Harden for half a season, if you will. But he's already opted in. I'm assuming he's going to want to come back fresh off a championship. Wow, $46 million. What are these offers he's got? He's got 4 years, basically $160 million from the Spurs. I can give him 5, and I'll probably give him around 38 a year, 39. I'll give him 39 a year, and I'll also give him a no-trade clause just because I'm assuming he wants to come back. Yeah, he does. Okay, cool. Do we have any other big free agents? Yeah, Charles Brown Jr., Charlie Brown, no thanks. Miles Powell can go. Is that a trade? No. Okay. All these guys can go. James Harden's back, which was 100% my, big thing that I had to make sure got done. We obviously picked up Pascal Siakam. We picked up Harrison Barnes, which are 2 pretty big pickups in my opinion. So, the way this team's kind of breaking down right now, I'd like to get some upgrades. I really, really would. I think I'm probably going to have to get a backup for Harden, just because I think he's going to start regressing. I'm sure a lot of you guys know by the end of these videos, he typically ends up around an 86 overall, which is unfortunate, but kind of the name of the game. Danny Green's definitely going to get traded. I'd like an upgrade at the backup power forward, and honestly, I'm fine with Charles Bassey. I mean, he's barely going to play anyways. So, all of these smaller pieces here, like Danny Green, Paul Reed, Georges Niang, Isaiah Joe, Jaden Springer, who, again, maybe have some potential, maybe they don't, are going to get traded for either first-round picks, or I'm going to sign probably a backup of some sort. Do I really want Lance Stevenson? Not really. Could go Nick Batum. He's a little old. You couldn't pay me to sign Enos Freedom right now. Honestly, it's funny. We'll sign Lance Stevenson. Why not? Welcome to Philadelphia. So we have our backup shooting guard. Lance Stevenson is going to be that, and then I'm going to trade the rest of the guys, and then I'm going to get an upgrade to the backup power forward spot. See you guys with the deal. We're going to do this deal right here with the Dallas Mavericks. Danny Green, Jordan Niang heading over there. We're getting Davis Bertans in a first. I'm really doing this for the first round pick, but overall, Davis Bertans is a serviceable backup. He is making a lot of money, but he's also a pretty good shooter. So hopefully he can come off the bench, kind of provide that, not 3-and-D role, but that 3-point shooting that we could end up using on this team, if you will. So, overall-wise right now, I'm going to move Jaden Springer, I'm going to move Isaiah Joe, and then probably Paul Reed as well, just for some first-round picks. We're going to be in a 10-man rotation next year, which is going to be a little different than our 9-man from last year, which did work, but we'll kind of figure that out as we do move along. So, all these guys are going to get me first-round picks, and I'll see you guys at the rotation at the start of year number 2. Start of year number 2 for us here in Philadelphia. The starting 5 has pretty much one major change. Obviously, our bench got upgraded as well, in my opinion, but starting 5 has a major change. We'll get into that right now. It's still going to be Tyrese Maxey and James Harden locking it down in the backcourt. As you can see, unfortunately, James Harden did regress to an 88 overall. Whether or not I agree with 2K's regression system is a little bit up in the air, but again, it's still James Harden. He still should be productive. I'm keeping Matisse Thybulle in the starting 5. Again, just my opinion, the best way it's going to work out for Pascal Siakam. It's obviously a huge upgrade at that power forward spot. I mean, overall-wise, it's like 85 and 85, but I don't really think it's any debate that Pascal Siakam's a better player than Tobias Harris. And then Joel Embiid, our MVP, our finals MVP, and hopefully just the man, the myth, the legend of this squad. Bench unit, Harrison Barnes will be our 6th man. The game actually does want him to start. I prefer the defense. I'm going to throw Thybulle in there. We have Shake Milton. We have Lance Stevenson, Charles Bassey, and then Davis Bertans. It's an okay bench. It's definitely still something we could work on in the offseason. Again, I am a little bit nervous about Harden's regression. Hopefully he doesn't hit us too hard, but we should be fine. 10-man rotation this year versus 9-man last year. Hopefully shouldn't affect things too much. Again, we're giving a little bit of less minutes to guys like Harden and maybe a couple to Maxey, but should not affect this team too much. Let's try to go back-to-back. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 2. So unfortunately this year we didn't get the MVP. It went to Jason Tatum of the Boston Celtics, something that as a Celtics fan I'm hoping comes true in the next couple of years. But we are a 1 seed here in the Eastern Conference, and again, I will take the standings over the accolades any day of the week. Jaden Ivey, your Rookie of the Year, is in Washington, D.C. KPJ, 6th man, made his way over to Utah. Rudy Gobert, 6th man, Defensive Player of the Year, so a couple awards there for Utah. Nick Claxton, Most Improved. Willie Green, Coach of the Year. Here come the Pelicans. Oh, brother. Standings-wise, we were 58-24, actually tied with the Milwaukee Bucks for the best record here in the Eastern Conference. Again, we had the tiebreaker, though, so I will take that. And, of course, we will check out some stats on the season as well. Embiid, Harden still doing his thing. Overall, is at an 88. It's not perfect, but it is what it is. Siakam, Tyrese Maxey, Shake Milton, Harrison Barnes, Lance Stevenson. Not a bad list. Not a bad squad. All right, we got a play-in team here in the first round. Let's see who it is. It's going to be the Cleveland Cavaliers. Garland, LeVert, Chetty Osman, Evan Mobley, Jarrett Allen, Colin Sexton. I'll be interested to see what they do with him this offseason. But let's hopefully get by them here in the first round. We lost game 1 of them. We won game 2. We win game 3 as well. We're up 3-1. And a quick gentleman's sweep. I will take it. Moving on to Toronto. Fred VanVleet, Gary Trent Jr., Scotty Barnes. They have now Tobias Harris, as we did that, a little swap, if you will. They also have Precious Chua. They got OG Anunoby coming off the bench. A lot of depth there in Toronto. All right, we're 1-1 with them right here. Hopefully it's not a redemption series for Tobias Harris, if he even has that in his vocabulary. We're up 3-2 right now, and we win in 6. Moving on to Boston, who has, if I'm being honest with you as a Celtics fan, pretty much owned the Philadelphia 76ers in the playoffs for the past couple of years, but it's a little bit of a different story now. Peyton Pritchard, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Grant Williams, Robert Williams. They have Mitchell Robinson coming off the bench. This feels redundant having these two on the same team, but again, not my show over there in Boston. We're up 2-0 against them right now. We go up 3-0, and come on. Thanks for coming, Celtics. We got a rematch last year. Devontae Graham, CJ McCollum, Brennan Ingram, Zion Williamson, Jonas Valanciunas. They have Jackson Hayes. They have Cody Zeller, Herbert Jones. I'd like to repeat history and hopefully get another championship here in Philadelphia, if you will. We're up 3-1. Let's not blow a 3-1 lead because okay. I was going to say the Pelicans did that last year. Joel Embiid, 2nd straight finals MVP. We have 2 straight championships here in Philadelphia. That obviously means we're going for a clean sweep, a 3-peat, if you will. So let's head up to league meetings right now into our final offseason. We reject all those as always. I traded for a couple of picks. I don't think any of them are going to be in the lottery this year. I don't think any of them were actually this year. Rockets, Nets, Pelicans, Knicks, and Magic is going to be your top 5. Surprised the Nets are so bad. Got a talented roster unless maybe Kyrie left. I don't really know. Nonetheless, we're up to the NBA draft right now. We have the 16th pick. So, yeah, I guess I did trade for a couple in this year. Wow, we actually have a lot of picks in this year's draft. I don't really want to use any of them. What I'm going to do is get some upgrades to the backup positions. I will do this, and I will do this, and hopefully we can get an upgrade for our backup shooting guard. How tall is Kendrick Nunn? He's 6'2". I mean, maybe. Grayson Allen's just a scumbag, so I don't really want him. All right, I'll trade for Kendrick Nunn, who's probably had one of the longest bone bruises of all time in history. Davis Bertans, and we'll do a first and a second. Any upgrades to the backup power forward spot? If not, I'll just dump him for some picks. Really not that big of a deal. Yeah, we'll just take 2 future firsts from Cleveland, who actually sucked. I do not want any of these picks I have this year. I really do not. It's actually just one left. That's actually perfect. We will now head up to team player options, where I don't think we'll have a ton of stuff. Tyrese Maxey and Charles Bassey, excuse me. Matisse Thybulle is somebody I definitely do want to bring back. He's not the flashiest player in the world. Doesn't have the highest overall, but his impact, if not on this team, would definitely be felt. Do I want to bring back Harrison Barnes? That's pretty much the question, the name of the game right now. I'm going to give Thybulle the qualifying because I know he's starting. I know he's staying. I also do not mind Shake Milton as a backup off this bench. I'll probably bring back Barnes for now. And then again, I don't know if I'm 100% going to keep him. His name could be coming up in a trade of some sort. We also have a $17 million trade exception from the Davis Bertans trade. So that's low-key pretty important as well. But again, I think this team... Oh, wait. Never mind. We're moving Kendrick Nunn to the shooting guard spot. I was going to say, I forgot we had Kendrick Nunn, but he's going to shooting guard to back up James Harden. Okay. We need a new backup power forward. That kind of goes without being said. Al Horford is just way too old at this point. Almost everybody here is way too old. Royce O'Neal's not bad. Larry Nance Jr. is not bad. Who would I prefer? I like the shooting of Royce O'Neal. We'll bring in Royce O'Neal. Cool. Now, do I want to go ahead and do I want to keep Harrison Barnes on this team? I don't really feel like there's a huge upgrade I could get, so I'm kind of leaning that way, but I also feel as if he might regress so much where I kind of might be hurting my opportunity of maybe maximizing on his value right now. So I'll do Harrison Barnes, and I'll do 2 first-round picks. If I see somebody significant that I think would be an upgrade off the bench, I'm 100% going to take that deal. It's fun. What the fuck is this? Seriously? I mean, I feel like it would be kind of stupid for me not to. I could also just get Andrew Wiggins and have him come off the bench. I'm going to take Wiggins. I don't really ever trade for Wiggins. I actually have Tyler Hero a decent amount. All right, Andrew Wiggins. I'm still starting Thybulle. That's not changing. Or maybe I should start Wiggins. I don't know. I should give him some respect. You know, he's an all-star starter this year. You know what I'm saying? I'll make the decision once we get into next year. We got an upgrade. I'll see you guys at the start of year number 3. So I'm rolling with Wiggins. That's what the game wants. If we end up sucking for some reason, one, it's probably going to be because James Harden is now down to an 85 overall. He went from a 91, 92 at the start of this video, won 2 championships, had 20-plus points a game, near probably career high in assists and rebounds, and yeah, he's down to an 85. Man's what, 33 now? 34. You keep LeBron up that high. I'm not saying they're the same caliber of player, but, you know, production-wise, I don't know. Tyrese Maxey, James Harden, Andrew Wiggins, Pascal Siakam, and Joel Embiid's going to be the starting 5 here for the 3rd and final year in Philadelphia. We've obviously won 2 straight championships and looking to make it a 3rd. I'd say our bench unit got a little bit better. Kendrick Nunn, we put Matisse Thybulle on the bench. Now Thybulle, whatever it is. Again, I'm horrible with names. I don't love it because I kind of want him in the starting 5, but I don't know. I'll take the defense off the bench. Shake Milton here, Charles Bassey, and then Royce O'Neal. Hopefully something bad doesn't happen. I'd like to three-peat. I'll see you guys at the end of the 3rd and final year. And in our 3rd and final year, we are the 1 seed for the 3rd straight year as well. And again, I'm hoping the playoff success continues as well. It'd be cool to three-peat. I don't think I've done that yet in 2K22. Honestly, all my videos are kind of a blur with the way this year's been. But nonetheless, I'd like to get it done. Luka Doncic, first career MVP over there in Dallas. He's very good. Victor Wembanyama, your Rookie of the Year, is in New York. Jaden Ivey wins Rookie of the Year last year, wins 6th Man of the Year this year in Washington, D.C. I'm assuming he's probably backing up Bradley Beal, which is unfortunate for his career trajectory, but they want to keep Bradley Beal. God bless him. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Defensive Player of the Year. Jonathan Kuminga, Most Improved. Doc Rivers. We got a Coach of the Year finally. We have our best record yet, I believe, at 60-22. And we finally get it done. We're 7 games ahead of the 2-seed Detroit Pistons. Look at them on the come up. You love to see it. Player stats. Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, James Harden's taking a little bit of a back seat, but it's fine. All I care about is wins, man. And, you know, Harden already won 2 championships here. He didn't get any finals MVPs, but neither did Steph. So who are we talking about? All right, we got Charlotte here in round number 1. LaMelo, Book Knight, Hayward, Bridges, Peter Washington, Cody Martin. Oh, boy. The Charlotte Hornets also tend to be a small percentage of my kryptonite here in this game. I don't know why I always feel like I just lose to them. We get by them around number 2. Here come the Celtics, who we beat last year. It looks like their team is relatively similar. They brought Scary Terry back. Still Derek White, who's been an unbelievable trade piece for them so far this year in real life. We're 1-1 with them right now. We go up 2-1. We go up 3-1. Gentlemen sweep. Here comes Toronto. Van Vliet, Gary Trent Jr., Tobias Harris, Scotty Barnes, Achua. Interesting starting five. Let's go game by game here with the Toronto Raptors. We're up 2-1 right now. We 2-2 with them, 3-2. And can we close them out? Can we close them out here? We choked. We blew the lead. We got Timberwolves, Raptors fighting the Timberwolves. All power to you, honestly. Whatever works for you. All right, well, we get 2 championships here with the Philadelphia 76ers. James Harden has regressed significantly, so that was probably part of the problem. But again, it's the game. It's not him personally. But let me know your thoughts on this trade down below in the comment section. I want to hear every single thought you guys have. Who do you think's the best team in the Eastern Conference right now? There's just so many options. There's really no wrong answer, but there's also really no right answer, if you will. Unbelievably fun trade deadline. Again, I'm sorry I'm so late on these videos. And again, I could not be more excited for the playoffs and stuff like that. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts on the whole trade deadline, especially this trade down below in the comment section, along with any other video ideas you guys do have. Of course, if you guys are new around here, feel free to subscribe to the channel, join the community, and of course, go follow me on Twitter. That's where you get all my gut reactions, my initial thoughts, and any breaking news coming out of the NBA. Other than that, that wraps up this one. Again, thank you guys for sticking with me. I love you guys. I'll see you guys on the next one.